Today's video is sponsored by Energy Sage. Visit the link in the description below to find out how Energy Sage can help you contract local, verified solar experts to help you generate clean, green, renewable electricity for your home, either through solar panels on your own home or by joining a community solar project in your region. It is late on a Friday evening in the middle of August. I'm here at Deer Island in Oregon, where I am charging up Adira Tal for the last time on what's been quite an eventful trip. See, earlier today I drove all the way to Seattle, then I got stuck in Seattle traffic for 3 hours, but I also picked up this. It is a 1994 Subaru Legacy. Belongs to a mutual friend of ours, and well, it stopped working not so long ago. The person who owned it now drives an EV as their daily driver, which I may or may not have played a part in. And they wanted to get this car back to the person who helped them make it in the first place in Colorado. And they were asking about how much it would normally cost on a mutual forum that we're part of to get this car to Colorado using a commercial transportation company. But I knew I'd got this truck coming, and I also wanted to do a real world test to see what it's like towing a car on a trailer with an F150 Lightning, not just for 50 miles or 100 miles, but for nearly halfway across America. So I found myself offering to do it for free. My friend paid for the trailer, they've rented it, and I've got to drop it off in Colorado in 5 days' time. But the rest, Michael's joining me, and we're going to go for a very long drive. Good morning. It is Saturday, day 2 of our trip. Michael has joined me. He's behind the camera right now, so we can't wave. And this is our first charging stop. Now, when I planned this trip, I planned that we would only do 0.8 miles per kilowatt hour in terms of efficiency. And good news, thus far, Adira Tal has done about 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour. This is great news because the next 2 charging stations on this route, which are run by a local regional charging provider, are offline. They don't work. And so we have to now get all the way to Hermiston, which is notoriously problematic on the Electrify America network. And then we have to climb up past Pendleton up onto the high plateau. So fingers crossed it will be very easy to do, because this truck is going almost twice as far per charge with the trailer on the back than I thought. In the back, we've got all of our gear. We've got all of our camera gear in case we film something on the road. There's a potential for a couple of filmings on the road. So we've got some extra gear that we wouldn't normally bring. We've got some food here, and we've got some cooking supplies, because we are going through states that are anti-abortion and anti-LGBTQ. And so for that reason, we are trying not to spend money in those states, aside from the hotels that we're staying at. And we're staying at Hilton's, and Hilton has a very good LGBTQ friendly policy, so that is the only money we're spending in those states. But it also means we get to test out the Pro Power on board. I've already boiled the kettle using the sockets there, and also an inductive hob. We've put that away now, but I'm sure you'll get a chance to see them later on in the trip. So all that's left for me to do is to put this up, pull the tonneau back, and hit the road. We've successfully left Hood River, and we are on our way to Hermiston, where the next scheduled stop is. The truck, when we left, said, yeah, you'll get to Hermiston, no problems. As soon as he hit the road, it starts to panic, and it's like, I think you should stop in the Dalles at the West Coast Electric Highway charging station there, which we know is currently offline. There are 2, maybe 3 West Coast Electric Highway charging stops between the Dalles and Hood River that are notoriously unreliable and not working. So
we decided we're just going to barrel on through, which is why we're doing 50 miles an hour right now, just to make sure that we have enough range to get all the way through. There's some big hills, there are trucks doing 50, so we're not like holding people up. But down here on my navigation, this needs to be dealt with. It's got us stopping at the West Coast Electric Highway in the Dalles, and it says we need to stop for 40 minutes to get from 80% to 81%. And then we need to then carry on with our journey. This is not the first time I've seen Ford's route planning software do this, and it's a bit bonkers, to be honest. I would much rather that the system goes, okay, based on my calculations, you're going to arrive in Hermiston anyway with 15% state of charge. I think you're going to be fine based on what you've done thus far. But no, it wants us to stop for a couple of minutes to charge to 81%. In fact, now it still wants me to stop in 4 miles and charge to 81%, even though it thinks we're going to get there with 81%. So that's a bug, Ford. Yeah, not good. Well, we made it to Hermiston and we successfully charged, albeit a little bit slower than our theoretical maximum. And I think that's because that particular location gets kind of hot. There's no shade for the charging stations or indeed the dispensers. When we arrived, there were 2 people charging at the 2 ones that were still working. One person left and allowed us to plug in. And then when we left, 2 other people had just arrived and couldn't get the charging stations to work. So Electrify America, you're really, really, really not doing good things for EVs because your charging network is not being very reliable. Anyway, we arrived from Hood River at Hermiston with, I think it was 60 or 70 miles of range remaining, despite the F-150 Lightning freaking out when we left Hood River and thinking that we weren't going to make it. We averaged like over 2 miles per kilowatt hour for the majority of the trip until we got within like 30 miles of the destination, and then I sped up quite a bit and had plenty of space at the end. Now, right now we are climbing up towards Pendleton. This is a big old hill, lots of trucks going very, very slowly, and it is quite a challenge for any electric vehicle coming up here. Towing, we did need to have a large amount of reserve capacity. We're just going past a stalled out truck, which is probably the worst possible place to be stalled out. We now are averaging 1.1 miles per kilowatt hour because we're climbing. We started at, I think we were probably about 600 feet when we left. Now we're just about to hit 3,000 feet. There you go, 3,000 feet just passed. And this particular road here is notorious in the winter for trucks getting stuck. And it's quite a challenge to tow on if you are not used to towing. Now, we've pretty much broken the back of today. We've got 195 miles before our hotel. And so we can just enjoy the afternoon drive. Because the truck has been far more efficient than I thought it would be, we've actually been able to spend less time charging, and we've been able to drive a little bit more quickly than I feared we might have to. So this is good. We're nearly at our hotel for the night. We've got 6 miles to go, and I've got to say, Adira Tal has been amazing. But before we talk about the final figures for the day, I'm just going to hand off to myself to give you a message from today's video sponsors, Energy Sage.
Energy Sage is an online service in the US that helps homeowners connect with local, verified solar installers who really know their stuff and can help you navigate the process of installing photovoltaic solar panels on your home, or can help you join a community solar program. We used Energy Sage when we were looking for installers willing to help us put solar panels on the roof of our house, and our Energy Sage verified installers were professional, knowledgeable, and they even put us in touch with an amazing local credit union to help us finance our solar panels for as low a monthly payment as possible. Now is the perfect time to plan to get solar panels for your home. Many Energy Sage installers are now planning out their installations through to the end of this summer, and some into autumn. Follow the link in the description to sign up for Energy Sage's free, no obligation service today. And if you do choose to use an Energy Sage installer for your solar project, or you use Energy Sage to find a community solar project, we will get a small referral fee. So you'll be helping the channel too.
So, by the time we get to the hotel, we will have driven a total of 452 miles today. That has mainly been on the freeway, and we have been averaging a range of different speeds. I'm not going to say we've been averaging a particular speed, because some legs we did do slower than others. It turns out though that something really interesting happened throughout this trip. When I left the house this morning, the truck was very aware that it had a trailer on, and it tried to make some predictions about how far I could go and how efficient I could be based on the cloud data that Ford has for all the other F-150 Lightnings that have towed a similar trailer for any length of time. However, as the day has gone on, the estimated range for the truck with a trailer on has basically morphed into the estimated range that I would normally get if I was driving the F-150 in a little spirited a manner on a daily basis. I'll explain. Today, over the 452 miles that we have driven, we have averaged 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour. Now, the lifetime efficiency of this truck since I purchased it is hovering around 2 miles per kilowatt hour. The last leg of this trip that we made, which is from La Grande to our hotel here in Nampa, Idaho, we have averaged 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour, and we've covered 153 miles. Now, earlier on when we were driving, we thought that the truck had got confused, that maybe something bad had happened, because we noticed that our estimated range just kept going up and up and up. But it turns out that the truck is now just assuming that this trailer combo, which we've worked out is about £5,000, car plus trailer, is just making so little difference to the truck that it's just giving us fairly normal ranges. Obviously, if we were to drive this at 80 miles an hour, we would have a major issue. But it shows that it is super easy and not that much of an inconvenience to drive all this way with something on the back of the F-150. Because we'd stopped here before when we were driving cross country in a Chevrolet Bolt, we knew that this particular hotel had charging stations, but we also knew that this one is really low, slow powered. This is like a 3 kilowatt charger, which is pretty pants really. So we came prepared, and we brought a Tesla destination charge adapter with us, which is on the truck. And the problem is that even though this is plugged in and it is charging extremely slowly. It's supposed to be charging at like 10 to 16 kilowatts, but no, it's not. It's charging at maybe 6. But beggars can't be choosers, and it means tomorrow morning we're going to be able to make it to our first stop in Mountain Home without having to worry about charging. After one full day on the road, this truck has blown us away with how capable it is. The car plus the transporter, we reckon, is about 5,000 US pounds, and we were averaging between 1.5 and 2.1 miles per kilowatt hour. That is far better than the 0.8 to 1.2 miles per kilowatt hour that we thought this truck was going to achieve. And that meant we arrived here a lot earlier. We've been able to plug in and nab a charging space, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have a similar experience. So tomorrow we're going to Moab, where we're going to be spending the night, and then on Monday it'll be a short drive in to Denver to drop the car off, and then of course the return journey Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's just going to be fun, downhill all the way, pretty much. With no trailer, the truck is going to feel very light and very powerful indeed. That is it for today's video. I want to shout out again to Energy Sage for sponsoring today's video, and in fact the entire road trip video series. So do check them out if you want to get solar panels on the roof of your home, or indeed if you would like to join up with a local community solar program. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and there was a bug, sharing it with your friends, and don't forget to leave your thoughts below or in our free to join Discord chat room. And if you really like the video, why not leave us a super thanks? It's easy to do, and everything you do send our way goes towards helping us make great content. That bug will not leave me alone. Do make sure you subscribe to this channel and our other channel, Transport Evoke Take 2, and give that bell a gentle ding to make sure that you're told when our next video goes live. Thanks on behalf of the entire crew goes to everyone who makes TE possible. That includes those of you who watch and share, as those who support us on Patreon and of course on YouTube. If you are a supporter at the charged up level, as I was pointing there, you will see your name right here on my right hand side. And if your name's not there yet, don't worry, it should appear very soon. Thanks again to our self-driving tier supporters. They are Chris Maxwell, Pedro Muir-Pinheiro, Patrick Boyaski, Bennett Elder, Brian Newton, Dave Kitchen, Michael Goad, Ricky Leon, Andrew Martin, Guido Drahota, Bruthy Wolf, Taslet in the Gong, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Carl Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Regine Fellows, Dan Blair, Jim Burness, Chris the Centaur, Chris and Michael Johnson, Peter Dillinger and Denny Hyde, and of course, super out of this world thanks to Anonymous Freak, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, Rory Litwin, Joe Bresney, Reed R, JP Fagerback, Russ, Will Graylin, Matthew Drobenack, Kevin Burrowbridge, John Lyons, Andrew Glenn, Paul Conway, Laura Reynolds, Ellery Hensley and Ian. They are of course our Starman level supporters. If you would like to join that amazing list, it's really easy to do. Just follow the links below or hit the join button on YouTube or head over to Patreon. Of course, you can also buy some cool swag like this really faded t-shirt now that I'm wearing. You can buy a fresh version of that at our store, Go Away Fly, and you can also send us Bitcoin or Ko-fi. We will be back with more content from our epic towing road trip very soon, but until then, I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Keep evolving. Adira Tal is overheating slightly, like the battery is overheating slightly. It's now restricted it to 56%. It's going to take us another 14 hours to get to our destination. The truck has 30 miles of range remaining. We are driving our Lightning into a thunderstorm. I don't know about you. It has been quite the day